You're listening to The Angry Designer, where we cut through the industry bull to help frustrated graphic designers survive and thrive.
I don't even know. Like, this is mystery something or another. I don't even know how to call this episode, okay?
I know, yeah. It's the mystery episode.
So you have no idea what topic we're talking about.
I have no clue. other than
This
the
is like
fact,
almost torture.
no, this is great. I love this because other than these awesome phrases or sayings or things that you gave me earlier today, that's all that I have to go on
right?
with this.
And those sayings are like, what you said, they're like Buddha-like,
yeah, they're
or
very
Zen-like,
or Yoda, even.
very Yoda-like, very philosophical.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
And so this is somebody who's like, very. I guess he was a very famous person, very philosophical, huge, back in 70s, 80s. I'm like fucking crazy, and he was probably bigger after he died than he was before his death.
Okay.
So, but you still had no idea after
I
reading
still have
these.
no
So
clue.
I don't even know what we call these mystery whats. I don't know. Like, because again, I found. Okay, so
I love it.
If we
Okay.
have to call this, okay, enough with this because I feel bad, like I've been torturing you. Okay.
No, it's good.
So today's podcast episode is called "Design Like Water." Graphic design lessons
It's your shirt.
from Bruce Lee.
It's staring me right in
Right?
the face.
I actually got this printed
Yes.
today at
Oh,
the
you
mall
did.
to see if you'd notice. I've been dropping you all these little hints.
Oh, I've heard these quotes. The water
Now
one.
you are exactly.
Oh shit! I feel like an idiot.
So long story short,
That's great.
on the weekend I was I was cleaning out, like my home office, the one that we talked about how shitty it was,
Right.
And our own episode inspired me to
Yeah,
try
to
to
do
clean
that,
it up and just turn it into a better games room because I'm like, I'm never going to use it as a design firm. And then I found this.
Oh, it's like
Bruce Lee
Was it a game?
trading cards. No, special edition playing cards.
Wow.
And I was like, oh man, I forgot I even had this. And it was because as a kid, I fucking idolized Bruce Lee,
Bruce
right?
Lee was awesome.
Like I was just young and he was already long dead by that time, right? But again, all of his movies, right?
Yeah.
Anything that was Bruce Lee related, because again, I was in fact a ninja as a child. And Bruce Lee was, I followed in his footsteps and learned, and I probably thought I probably was Bruce Lee at some point or another when I was like little 5, 6, 7 years old. And so these special edition playing cards, right? When I opened them, I'm like, wow, these are great. And one whole side had all little quotes from him. The dude was fucking brilliant, right? I mean, he was an actor. He was one of the world's most, influential martial artists. He came up with his own martial arts, style. He was, and he was a brilliant philosopher. And one whole deck was just pictures of Bruce Lee, clothed, and decent, just so you guys don't get
That's not
don't get
pornographic,
weird
Bruce
on
Lee.
me. But they all had quotes. And I was like, fuck, these are amazing. The shit
so
that this
cool.
dude used to say and his beliefs and everything. I was just like, how does this apply to what we do?
Yeah.
And it totally did on so many levels. And I was like, dude, we got to have an episode about,
about the master.
graphic design lessons from Bruce Lee. Okay? Because let me tell you, as badass as Beirut is, as Aaron Draplin is, as Alan Peters is, nobody would fuck with Bruce Lee.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
So let's have an episode about this.
Not one of those guys could kick a fence post 1,000 times.
That's exactly it.
Other than Bruce Lee.
Other
He's
than
the
Bruce
only
Lee,
guy
right?
that can
There
do
you
that.
go. So unfortunately, okay, I couldn't find
Bruce Lee has a whiskey?
No, he doesn't. And I couldn't even find a Chinese whiskey anywhere near us. But a close second is a Japanese whiskey, right? Suntory whiskey by
Suntory.
Right? I think we've we can enjoy this one. So here, you can start opening up that bad one. And it's funny, we actually had an angry designer recommend that to us.
Oh,
and
no way.
Recently, yeah. And he was just like, you should try this.
Have we not had this?
Yes, we have. And I
Okay.
told him that. But it's been years since we've had it.
been a
So
long
I thought
time.
it's been all right. So, all right. Just in case anybody has been living under a rock and has no fucking idea who Bruce Lee is. Okay. He was one of the most influential martial artists of the 20th century.
Right.
Okay. He was born in San Francisco, California.
No way.
He was.
He's
was
American.
He was born American.
Salud.
Cheers, my friend. Ooh.
That's not bad.
Okay, so it's very different than the bourbon and anything else. Like people are like, "Oh, you're teasing us on Bruce Lee, now you're going to whiskey." How do you describe this?
It's very Scotchy.
So
to
it
me.
has a little bit, not quite. Do you think Scotch? Eh?
Without the peaty.
Without
kind
the
of-
peat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good. It's nice.
It's not sweet.
Mild. It's not sweet at all.
Yes.
But it's also, it doesn't burn.
Nope.
It's not like, it's
nice.
still very tasty, even though it's not sweet.
Yeah. It's super clear.
I was going to say it's clear and the color is, well, sadly, kind of like an after night out of drinking urine color. It's not the nicest color of whiskey. I'm
filthy
sorry.
mind went to apple juice.
You went
but-
to apple juice. I like apple juice better. I like apple juice better. No, dude.
You're right.
Urine.
That's pee. That's
It's
drinking pee.
Drinking pee. All right.
Okay,
So
here we go.
he was
That's right.
born
Yes.
in California, 1940, right? And then he spent most of his life going back and forth from Hong Kong and California.
Okay.
Okay, so he was, and I guess from that coast to that coast, it's a lot closer
Chinese
than
parents,
where we are.
probably.
Yeah,
I would assume.
I'm not exactly too sure about
Yeah.
that side.
Yeah.
Obviously, some of the most classic movies.
Yeah.
Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon.
Fists of Fury. The Return of the Dragon. Like, I mean, he has made, and I mean, he was. There's nobody else like him, right? It was showmanship,
Yep.
right? He was the guy with the right? And he would have all of he would sound like a little cat and he's light on his feet.
Yes.
And, but he took what he did so fucking seriously that he wasn't just, I don't know, pastime for him. And sometimes people, they do martial arts and like, yeah, I'm a black belt, but I'm also this. No, this dude
He
lived
this life.
and breathed this
Right.
life. He was so fucking passionate about it,
Yes.
right? And ultimately, all of his philosophies and trying out and studying all philosophers and everything, he ended up, or other martial arts styles, he adapted his own style and created Jeet Kune Do. Right?
Jeet Kune Do. He created his own thing.
Do. Yes.
Wow.
And again, that's what was really kind of cool because again, it was a very practical for his way of belief, his fighting style, right? Very quick, very minimal, very simple, and again, it was everything he embraced. So then it was like, okay, so obviously he's been a lifelong hero for me.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was, I thought was really funny, and I'm like, well, let's see what some comparisons are because as I started reading his like little philosophies, his little quotes, his little whatever, his memoir, if you want to call it.
Yep.
I was just like, holy shit, that applies to this. That applies to this. It all fucking applies. But just in general, the similarities between martial arts and graphic design or graphic arts, if you want to call it, right?
Yep.
So, so there's a lot
There's
of
a ton.
similarities and people, you would never think this, okay? But if we were to take the two and go side by side, right? They both involve, development of skills.
Yes.
Okay. They both involve creativity, problem solving, communication, self-expression, discipline,
Right? I
right?
was just gonna say, yeah.
Dedication, and a growth mindset, all to be successful. Okay.
Interesting, yeah.
So, and again, right off the bat, you're like, still like, it's hard to believe the similarities between these two.
Yeah.
So they both require discipline and practice, right? Martial artists have to practice and train regularly to develop their skills, and graphic designers have to practice regularly to develop and refine and craft their skills and their whole create effective designs
Yes.
on a regular basis, right? Both require creativity. Okay, and people don't realize that martial arts does require creativity and innovation, especially when developing new techniques and kind of molding them to yourself. Well, graphic design, of course, requires creativity on a regular basis, developing new visual concepts and ideas on an ongoing basis.
Right.
Okay, both involve problem solving, right? Martial artists have to how to problem solve, how to beat their opponents.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
graphic designers have to find ways to problem solve, messages, visuals, their clients' issues on a regular basis.
Right.
Both involve self-expression. Okay, which we talked about. So when you become a high-level martial artist, artist, you know, it's accepted to kind of develop your own style, your own, you know, sway, your own swagger to it, right? Same with designers. I mean, we're encouraged, especially with the designers that we've spoken to, right? The Alan Peters, you know, the Aaron Droplins, these guys, they all have their own look, their feel, their style, right?
Exactly. Same kind of disciplines, right?
Absolutely.
Same. What do you call that? What is the house that the Chinese Oh shit!
Where are you going with this?
I don't know where I'm going with that. The you know where the
dojo?
Yes, the dojo.
Yes.
Thank you.
One trains in a dojo, the other trains in a studio.
Yes, exactly.
Right? On a regular basis.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, no. And both require passion and dedication.
Yes.
Okay. So again, martial arts, you know, and graphic design both require deep passion, you know, for this lifelong journey that those two things will take you on.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I mean, other than music, which I found similarities in music, but that would be something you can cover in the future. But again, I was just like kind of like getting so jazzed up about this because I'm like, holy shit, like this would be a real fun episode because again, everybody knows Bruce Lee. Dude, I asked, you know, my son who's like 9, I'm like, do you know who Bruce Lee is? He's yeah,
of course.
And I'm talking, that was like over half a century ago for this guy. And he was like,
he's been dead for,
I know him.
Yeah.
Since 73.
73.
Right? So he's been dead for over like, well, almost 50 years.
Yes.
So again, crazy, right? Wow. And it's just his legend lives on.
Yeah.
But it's not because, you know, he was the best martial artist. Okay. Because I'm sure there was better martial artists. Anybody could argue this.
Right.
But it was just everything he brought to the world of martial arts and what he did for martial arts in North America.
Yes.
That has made him, you know, a martial art icon.
Yep.
Right. And I think there's so much there that we can embrace. Right. So again, he was really interested in philosophy.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is where he started breaking the mold of just being a regular movie star and a regular martial artist. And he became something much bigger.
Yeah.
Okay. He believed in such a bigger journey, right? He studied a wide range of, you know, philosophical traditions like, you know, Taoism, Buddhism, you know, Zen. And he developed his own philosophy of martial arts, which emphasized the importance, okay, and here's the kicker, right? The importance of simplicity, personal expression, adaptability, and perseverance.
He could be talking about design.
So this is why I'm just like, holy shit, right?
That's crazy.
Here we go. So, okay.
Wow.
So let's start on this a little bit, okay?
Okay.
So the importance of simplicity in design or in martial arts, okay?
Yep.
So Bruce Lee said, one does not accumulate, but eliminate. It is not daily increase, but daily decrease. The height of cultivation always runs to simplicity. Okay. And again, this is something that we see the entire design world is just kind of pulling back on right now.
Every logo nowadays,
and
that principle.
And how we pitch our logos, we're like, always keep it simple.
Right.
Don't push it anymore. We just had a great, you know, couple episodes with Alan Peters. Again, he embraced simplicity, right? So again, according to Bruce Lee, true mastery comes not from accumulating more techniques and knowledge, but from eliminating the unnecessary. So he's saying to be a total master, you don't have to learn 20, 30, 50 different martial arts techniques. It's about mastering the core techniques and refining them to a point where they become like second nature, where there's muscle memory built in and you're just automatically not even thinking anymore and doing it, right? So that's what he's talking about, is about paring back. So don't pull everything in to get better and better like everybody thinks. It's a matter of simplifying and just focusing on the core. So now this applies to graphic design in 2 ways, okay? So the importance of simplicity in design, just like we talked about, you know, you need to pull back and focus on the messaging, on the actual intent, right? You don't keep adding and adding and adding pieces to get a message across.
Right.
You take things away, right? Till there's just a bare minimum to focus in on delivering the perfect message, the perfect design, right?
Yep.
You know, you're prioritizing clarity in what you're seeing and what you're delivering visually, right?
Yes.
You're not cluttering it up with all that visual noise that was it Massimo Vignali said, right?
Yes, right.
So that's the importance of simplicity in design. What about simplicity in a designer. Okay, so the importance of simplicity in a designer. This gives you a chance to simple down and focus on your craft. Right. So it's so easy to get caught up in everything that's online right now, right? Yeah. And you're thinking, oh, I can do some motion graphics.
Yeah, I want to do this and I'll be, right? I'll be a more marketable person, a more marketable designer. No,
right? Or even that, even go fucking watch TikTok and Instagram and whatever. And there's videos on, are you doing a shadow like that? You're wrong. Don't do it like that. Do it this way. And it's just like, dude, I've been fucking doing a shadow like this for 20 years.
And it's always worked.
And it works fine. So I'm glad there's a new way to do it. And you're telling me I'm wrong, but fuck off. I'm going to focus on some other shit. Right? I hate that shit. Right? But again, it's like focusing on your craft as a designer, right? Focusing on the important things. Don't focus on all the visual, all the noise in apps and how to do this better and how to do it. No, you know what I mean? You can do a drop shadow, you can do a drop shadow. Do it your way, right? Yeah. Focus on your craft. Focus on, your core design principles. Yeah. Instead of trying to embrace every single trend that's coming out, worry about the principles of it all, right? On the simplicity, refining your skills, eliminating unnecessary programs and techniques, and just focusing on the basics.
Yes.
So again, that's Bruce Lee number 1. Okay.
Ooh, I love it.
All right.
That's awesome.
Got 3 more.
Okay.
And then we got some more things after that. Okay. So number 2, right? Self-expression and being true to oneself. Okay. So Bruce Lee said, adapt what is useful, reject what is useless, and add what is specifically your own. Right? So again, now thinking back to some of the people that we've interviewed, thinking back to some of the, our heroes, our huge heroes, right? Yep. Bruce Lee believed that martial arts should be a personal expression of yourself. Okay? He encouraged his students to develop their own style and to be true to themselves, right? So this whole idea and mentality, right? This philosophy can be applied to graphic design when we push designers to use their own unique perspective on their approach, use their own experience, right? When Alan was telling us how he was over at Target, right? This helped him develop a new style that he carried on into his, all his experience up until that point. And then he left Target. He developed his own look, his own feel, his own style, right? Yeah. So again, personal style can involve interests, right? Your own personal interests, your niches that you maybe, your interests can lead to niching, right? Yep. It can lead to experiences, passions, even your culture in that sense, right? It's saying use what you have and put it into your work. Right. And again, I think that's what separates a blank, mindless graphic designer to one who's really passionate about what they're actually creating on a regular basis.
Yeah, exactly. We've had people here that never had that kind of discipline and just wanted to do basic stuff and you know what I mean? And it's like, that's kind of sad.
It is sad.
But then they don't really have that.
They didn't want to push. They didn't want to learn. Exactly. Yeah. They were production artists in the end.
That's basically what it was, which is a discipline unto itself.
And if you're good
no
with
judgment
that,
there,
exactly, right? Yeah. But that's not what we're here to talk about today.
That's exactly it.
Right? Yes. Personal or self-expression and being true to oneself, right? You can experiment with different techniques, styles that can help designers work for what's best for them and their clients and their industry. By embracing this self-expression philosophy of Bruce Lee, designers can stand out and resonate with their intended audience, right? So again, I wasn't everything to everybody, but definitely when it came to that B2B market, I had experience. The B2B tech market, I knew what to say, I knew how to say it, I knew, what would stand out, what would be going too far, and what would just kind of blend in everywhere, right? Yeah. So I knew how to ride that line to help me get to where I was, and that was who I became, right? And then again, if you can embrace your self-expression, this will help designers build their own brands, their own personal brands, which is important, right? And this will help them differentiate from their competitors. Yeah. Okay. Right. So again, this whole self-expression and being true to oneself, he was really big on this. And I think that this stays so true to designers.
Oh, yes. Oh, big time.
Okay. this one here is my favorite, was like my favorite one. And this, my shirt.
Yes.
You see this, guys?
Yeah. Is awesome.
This one is adapting to change. Yeah. Be like water. Okay. This is what. Okay. This was his.
Have you seen that interview with him when he's talked about that?
Oh yeah,
it's
I know.
amazing the way he talks.
He's so calm and the way he speaks.
It's beautiful.
And he's just got that slight accent.
Yeah, it's
you know,
just in there.
He almost sounds like, are you Asian? Are you just from
Yes.
San Diego? Like, where are you coming from? Okay. Be like water, all right?
Yeah.
So Bruce Lee said, empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. You put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. I fucking love that. Like, that is so deep.
That is awesome.
So he was a master of adapting his martial arts style to different situations and opponents.
Yeah.
Okay. You saw the movies. You saw some of his small fights. Someone was giant. He would totally change his fighting style
Exactly.
versus somebody much smaller.
Right.
So this is where he was. So in martial arts, the whole being like water means being adaptable to different situations, opponents, environments. Okay. So this can also be applied to graphic design and graphic designers. And I don't even think I need to explain this one because God knows we riff on this all the time, right? Designers should be adaptable and flexible in their approach to life, to their approach to design, to clients, to the industry. They should be open to change and willing to adjust their strategies, their design as required.
Exactly.
Okay. Again, if you are a hard ass designer and you've got
It's my
huge
way or the
ego-
highway.
Exactly, right? You're fighting the wrong battle here.
You're
right?
done. Yeah,
you will be
yeah.
done. You'll have a very short stint if you're really good.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be able to last because you can't adapt.
Yes. Well, Niagara Falls has rushing water that can crash shit.
It does
but it
crash,
only
doesn't
does
it?
that, right? That's
right.
it. You got to be fit into that teapot. You got to be fit into the glass.
Absolutely.
Come on.
So again, this is crucial to graphic designers on so many levels. Okay. So obviously we need to evolve and stay ahead of trends, and we have to stay ahead of client needs on a regular basis. We need to stay up to date with, technologies and continually, adapt and evolve as the technologies have, right?
Yep.
I mean, again, AI is everywhere right now.
Boy, did it ever save our bacon today.
Holy shit, didn't it, right?
That was,
and
that was
see how quick it
awesome.
was. It was
I
just
know.
like, so, and if we were stubborn and didn't want to adapt to these changes,
we would not. I would still be on fucking
still be
Google
doing that,
looking
right?
for S-Flow.
fucking S-Flow.
S-Flow.
So, and again, if you adapt, you can help problem solve with your customers as opposed to walking in and only seeing things a single way. You can adapt and you can ask them the questions, right? Because these are all problem solving skills that, problem solving in general is all about adapting. It's all about asking the right questions, hearing the answers, listening closely, and then changing what you're going to do based on that, just like in martial arts,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And then, and again, this all comes around to this growth mindset that Bruce Lee was very, very fond of, right?
Yes.
It's important for staying motivated and continually improving in the face of uncertainty and challenges. Okay? So embrace a growth mindset.
Yes.
It's a hot topic right now online, right?
Is it really?
It is. It is. And I mean, the reality is, if you're closed to constantly, absorbing and willing to adapt and willing to, what is the word? Bring in all this new knowledge that's out there, you're never going to grow.
Yeah.
You're just going to be stuck in the water.
Yeah. But do you find sometimes there's a saturation point? There's too much to learn nowadays.
Yes, I do.
I tend to get overwhelmed sometimes.
I do. Every day around 5 o'clock. So that's when I pour myself a drink and I'm like, all right, I'm ready for some more. It is overwhelming, and I had a great conversation with somebody yesterday about AI. A very good friend of mine, and again, he's so fucking smart, this guy, and he's one of the best designers I know. And for us, we're very fortunate. We have all this experience behind us. Okay, so I think for us, all we have to do is keep adapting to technology as it moves forward. The younger designers have got a completely different road ahead of them because they're going to be both learning design and keeping up with all these new technologies. Design alone takes a lifetime.
Exactly.
It's a lifetime journey just to understand the basic, principles, the design principles of design and how to start. I don't even want to say perfect them because I don't think it's ever perfected, right?
Nope.
I don't think I've ever seen a perfect design.
Nope.
But so when you have these next designers coming up, they've got double the battle, I think.
Yeah,
and in some ways it might be easier.
Yeah.
Because then in some ways, maybe AI in the future will do 90% of the design for them, right? Maybe design will come out looking perfect every single time.
Yeah.
But then, is it going to be authentic? Is it going to feel authentic? Right. Then all of a sudden, it's like, what we deemed as perfect design maybe needs to be scaled back as a little bit imperfect. Maybe people need, so it's going to be an interesting road ahead of us. So
that's very cool. Yeah. I see it as proofs. Like you could use this stuff as a sample. Mm-hmm. And then you look at it like what we do with clip art, things like that, right? Like an icon. You take an icon, it's close to what I want, grab it, adapt it.
Yep.
This is what I think the AI thing is going to be like.
Absolutely.
And then it gives it that human feel.
Absolutely.
Which you're talking about, which you absolutely need. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's how it's
I think no. But I mean, again, that works with even what we're talking about, adapting it all together, right?
Yeah.
Adapting to change. And you're right. Adapting everything to suit you.
Yeah.
Right. And again, otherwise, what you'll be doing is taking something, your example of an icon, and just dropping it in.
Yeah. And that's.
Then it's not yours.
No, it's not. You're using somebody else's stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
And the fourth point here, okay, for his philosophies, his beliefs, dedication, rigorous training, and mastery to your craft. Okay? So Bruce Lee said, do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. Dude, and I fucking love that more than anything else because I'm a firm believer that you don't learn anything from your successes.
No.
You learn from your failures. The more time you fail, you stumble, well, you're going to remember how to get back up and not stumble again.
Exactly.
Right? And that's what this is about. This is why I'm such a big nut over this perseverance, and it's just helped me overcome every one of those hiccups.
Yeah.
Just had somebody reach out on Instagram, and I mean, poor girl felt so beaten down. And I was just like, dude, and she was saying that she needed to hear our perseverance episode. She was like, I really needed to hear this. And I was just like, man, if I could reach out and give you a virtual hug, I would. But you know what? Like, don't fret. It gets better. Every time it gets better. And it's going to get to a point where you can almost call every one of these things.
Yes.
So, he was known for his rigorous training. Bruce Lee was, right? His dedication and mastery to craft, like just the amount of time he would just learn to master this stuff. There was Return of the Dragon, the movie Return of the Dragon, right? There was supposed to be a nunchuck scene in that, okay? And if you see him in that nunchuck scene, it looks like it's sped up. It looks like it's just out of this world. It looks fake. It looks CGI, right?
But it's real.
That was real.
Oh.
The funny thing is, 3 months to that, he never picked up a pair of nunchucks in his life.
Oh my God. So
And
he learned this.
He learned all of it. He did it. He trained every day. He was like, I'm going to fucking own this. I'm going to make these nunchucks my bitch. And he did. He trained his ass off. And this scene is just, it doesn't even look real. And it was all legit.
My God.
Right? So it's that kind of dedication, right? So graphic designers can apply similar principles, to improve their skills and then stay motivated, right? We talk about becoming weekend experts when you need to, right? Do it when you get into a problem. We can all benefit from being more disciplined in what we do.
Yep.
Okay, and that's fine. And this involves a little bit more than just like making sure you put things in your calendar and such. This also, involves setting goals for yourself. Seeing where you want to go and actually hitting that, right?
Yeah.
Establishing routines, that give you some, regular practice time, not just work time, right? It's easy to get involved in work time, but then when you don't have time for you, you're never going to get better at things. You're never going to be able to explore. And again, it's fresh off of us right now. But Alan Peters said, how he gives himself so much, personal projects, right? Because he feels he can grow and he can do more on those, personal or passion projects, as he called them, right?
Yeah.
Bruce Lee also emphasized the importance of practicing techniques and I think I mentioned this before, until they become ingrained into your muscles, the muscle memory.
Yep.
This is a legit thing. So he did that, of course, for martial arts, which is totally cool. But, graphic designers can do this also, right? You start practicing enough, right? Anything that became difficult, like understanding white space, understanding typography, knowing, what works, what doesn't work, right? The more you do this, the better you get at it, the easier this stuff comes on a regular basis. And there is muscle memory. We just have it very differently. I was just teaching a co-op today about fucking developing muscle memory in his hands to do proper shading.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. This is our muscles are our brains.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the discipline that we're using.
Yeah,
with this.
right.
But yeah, like we've all done, these things, several things like the social posts and PowerPoints, things like that. It's just like, as soon as you get it, you look at it, scan it, boom. Okay, here we go.
And you've already
your brain is already beep, beep, boop, boop, boop,
and you're able to just slot things in like Lego, right?
Exactly, just like Lego. Oh, Alan, yes.
Yeah,
that was his
right.
thing too.
See,
he talked about Lego. Yeah.
Exactly. See, we're fresh off that Alan interview.
I know. We're so jacked over that. Oh my God.
And then lastly, of course, his dedication and perseverance. That whole part can be applied to graphic design, and to me that's like one of I'm constantly harping about perseverance and being the difference, right?
Yep.
We as graphic designers are often faced with challenges, all kinds of challenges, time challenges, customer challenges, overloaded work challenges on a regular basis, right? Tight deadlines, it keeps going. But if we adopt this mindset of perseverance and actually look forward to working through these challenges, right? Design, you can develop this resilience and a strong work ethic, to overcome these things. And then, the challenge, not the challenge, but, the reward is if you do this enough, okay? And this is what I genuinely believe. Often when we're confronted with these challenges, we look forward to the end of the challenge and we're like, no, I'm going to solve it. I can't wait till this is all done. Dude, it's the wrong attitude, right? Don't look forward to this part being over.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rush, the journey to get through it.
Yeah.
Because then the next time you come up to it, right, you're like, oh shit, I've done this already. I can fucking do this again. It's a different mindset that you need to take.
Yes.
When you have these problems, right? I mean, dude, I remember telling you, we were almost broke once, and I thought we were like minus 17 grand in the hole, right? And I was like, we had a customer that was like, basically dumped us, like scrapped out on us for like 40 grand.
Yeah.
So here was like 40 grand. We lost this customer, a big customer, plus it was, 40 grand gone. So that was pretty much all of my receivables at that time.
Yeah.
I had a staff back then of 5, and I thought we were like minus 17 grand in the hole. And I'm like, oh, fuck, what are we going to do, right? Talked to my bookkeeper, and I was just like, wow, well, I guess that's it. Because, my credit limit was only minus 20 grand.
Yeah. You're at the
I
max.
was 3 grand out. That's it, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, no. We're not minus 17.
Yeah.
We're plus 17 grand. So all of a sudden, I'm like,
shit.
Wait a minute.
I still have a chance.
I still have 17 grand plus credit of 20 grand.
Yeah.
I can make this do it. And that's what it was. I was like, I can do this. And I got excited, and all of a sudden it was like locked in my office, picked up the phone, made some more phone calls, because I knew the journey.
Yeah.
If I was done and I was looking forward, oh God, when's this going to be over? This soon too will pass.
Yes.
Wrong attitude.
Yes.
Right? I don't like this soon too will pass statement that everybody seems to embrace, and just stick it out and you'll get through it. Fuck that. Make yourself get through it, right? Like tighten up your laces, go for that journey, and then next time you're confronted with the same journey, just get through this fucking thing.
Exactly.
Oh,
it's like what you talked about with Bruce Lee when he faces a foe that's bigger than him.
Yep, absolutely.
You don't do the same fucking thing you would normally do.
Right.
You adapt.
It's you need to adapt. Yeah.
So, and you absolutely did that by saying, you know what? Hey, I'm turning this negative into a positive. I still got a fighting chance.
Right. And that's exactly it. Because again,
and here we are.
I appreciated the journey.
Yeah.
I didn't go in my office, crawl up in the corner, cry, thinking, what am I going to do?
Which you totally could have done, but that does not serve the purpose. That doesn't get you. That doesn't get you to where,
That gets your ass kicked, buddy.
It does, exactly.
That's what happens.
You just fold up and then, well, you're done. Right.
So those are the 4 principles that, you know, he believed in his martial arts. But how I want to finish this off,
Okay,
is I also got and collected some of these other amazing fucking Bruce Lee quotes. Again, and after hearing this, you'll know why he's so fucking awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And these, I feel, can all adapt to graphic design. These are his, you know, his quotes, his sayings based on his own philosophies. But dude, like this one, number 1, most people can talk without listening. Very few can listen without talking. So again, D.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah. Were you listening?
I was listening. Yes,
But
that's fucking awesome.
This whole fucking idea of that, you know, too often we spend too much time talking. We've got 2 ears and 1 fucking mouth.
Yeah, for a reason.
We need to shut the hell up and
right.
listen a lot more. You know, when we're talking to customers, even if you have the answer, even if you know the path, you've got to give them the respect to shut yourself up, listen to them, and see if there's something else there that you can, you know, take and use on, you know, on your whole problem-solving strategy moving forward, right?
Exactly. And I remember you saying that when you're with a client, when you know exactly what it is, the problem that needs to be solved. You don't blurt it out, say, yeah, I got this. I got this. No, you let them talk. You listen to them. Because you never know. But you know.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And
But
that's
still,
exactly
that's
it,
the thing.
right?
That's just respect, and that's just good to have.
But you know what's funny? So with what you just said, that's another quote here.
What?
Okay, hold on.
I'm quoting him?
Now, based on what you just said, okay, look, Bruce Lee said, if I tell you I'm good, you'll say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm not good, you'll know I'm lying. So this goes hand in hand with what you just said about the customer. You can tell the customer, I got your problem. I got your problem. I got your problem. And the customer's going to be like, fuck, this guy's an arrogant dude, right?
Jeez.
But you're better off not saying, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this.
Right.
To shut up.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, you know what I mean? You're not going to say you're not good.
Yeah.
Because then they're going to be like, well, that's not why you're here.
Yeah.
You know? So better to be on, you know, on the side of humility, be quiet, and then have them understand. Right. Don't go in and be like, no, I'm not that good.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is that whole idea about, you know, like humility is important as a designer.
Yeah,
and I
big time.
genuinely believe, and without humility, we can't understand our own customers, right? So don't worry about having to oversell yourself and tell them how great you are, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, don't fucking play yourself down
That's
as
right.
well, right? Because then they're going to know you're lying as well.
Exactly.
All right. This one's my favorite one, right? Well, no, he's got so many fucking favorite ones. But this one's a popular one. Bruce Lee said, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. So if there's ever a case for niching,
that's the one.
It.
Yes, that is the leg kick niche.
Right, the leg
I
kick
love it.
niche, and what he's saying is, it's like, you know, who cares if you're a bag of tricks and you've got a million different things up your sleeves?
Yeah.
If you can't do any of them any good,
If you're
then
not
what
good
the
at a
fuck's the
roundhouse
point?
kick, then fucking why use it? Yeah,
Right?
you know what I mean?
So this kind of goes back to this whole idea about be good at something, be really good at something, whether it's a niche, whether it's an industry, whether it's a specific design skill set, right?
Yep.
And again, right now it's kind of scary when it comes to like, you know, the whole AI thing, and it's coming after your job, and you know, if it's a certain skill set you have. But I mean, again, niching into industries, niching into passions, into a certain direction, there's nothing wrong with that at all. And I mean, that's what's going to get people through all this.
Yeah.
So I think that's a brilliant phrase. from Bruce Lee.
That is pretty awesome. Holy shit.
Right?
That's really good.
All right. Ready? How about this one? If you spend too much time thinking about one thing, you'll never get it done. So, again, applying this to graphic design, okay? How many people focus so much on trying to perfect a piece of art, trying to perfect a job? They spend so much time fiddling, the job never fucking gets done. Okay. The reality is customers don't want perfection. They want delivery. They want somebody to deliver on a regular basis, right? And if you're constantly fucking around and messing around because you're not happy about this and you're seeking for this higher level of perfection, dude, you're just never going to deliver. This whole point about if you spend too much time about a thing, thinking about a thing, you're never going to actually do anything. You're never going to get it done.
Exactly.
So in my opinion, if I were to put this to design, it's a matter of, stop sooner, get shit out faster.
That's right.
Plain and simple.
That's
Get
right.
shit done.
And this is the kind of thing where your client's going to make iterations anyway, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you were on the wrong track. You want to stop that
Before
This-
spending.
This is the
Yeah.
worst part. Is like if you're on the wrong track and you spend all that fucking time on it. Oh, that's not good.
So true, dude.
Yes.
So true.
Yeah. So this is the kind of thing where you like.
A little more center?
Yes, please. But yeah, that's
really nice.
it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's look at how it becomes the glass.
It becomes, eh? The whiskey.
The whiskey
becomes the glass.
Be like whiskey.
Be like
maybe
whiskey.
Maybe we could do that. Sorry, Bruce. We're going to adapt yours to our.
Be like whiskey.
Be like whiskey.
All right. Okay, this one, I love the phrase. And I mean, this one's interesting on how to try to make this adapt to graphic design, okay? Mm-hmm. You can never invite the wind, but you must leave the window open.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Like that kind of idea. So it's like, yeah, how would you turn that into...
I think this one's more about like, if we had to, how I would do this is customers, right? You can't necessarily invite customers to you, but if you don't do your due diligence, if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't, work on your brand and you don't work on these elements, they'll never ever come in. So that's the whole leaving the window open part.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So while you can't invite your window, and really it's not like I can go in the random street and say, hey, you come, let me do your work for you. Like, yeah, I mean, sure you can, right? But you're not really inviting them into your whole brand, your whole scope, right?
Yeah.
But if you're not putting yourself out there, and that's this whole putting the window open part, right?
Yeah.
Then it's not necessarily, they're never going to find you to begin with,
Yes.
right? So you've got to leave that window open. You've got to be open to this kind of stuff. And by being open, you've got to put yourself out there. You got to put your stuff out there.
Yeah. That's good.
Does
I
that work a little bit?
I think that does. I think that works. I was trying to think of it as like, if you've niched and you have a customer and you do really well with that customer, that window is open to other customers of their ilk. Something what we've experienced as well. Because that window is open and everybody has said, hey, Z Factor, these guys can really help you.
Because you've left. Yeah, okay. I see what you're talking about.
I don't know.
Worked for us.
It certainly has worked for us.
Yeah.
That's our open window. By being good at one thing with one customer has garnered us a lot.
And then even in our industry too.
In our industry as well.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's the beauty of that quote. It's so open to
and again, I love all these, right?
Yes.
Jeez, how about this one?
Okay.
Be a practical dreamer backed by action. So again, this is that whole idea about do what you love.
Yes.
But fucking get the shit done.
Get it done.
Stop talking about it and just do it, right? Appreciate what you want. You want to create a logo, that's fine. Do it.
Yeah.
You want these kind of customers, do it. Stop overthinking everything and just get this shit done.
Yeah.
That's why I like this whole be a practical dreamer.
Right.
Okay. So I think this one is actually really business focused and can be business focused, right? Because what it's saying is, we always talk about, not every single job that comes through here is going to be an award-winning job.
No.
A lot of it's pay the bills type stuff, right? This is where it's be a practical dreamer. So the dream part is, look, for a living, I'm fucking doing art every day. I'm fucking drawing every day. But the practical part is it's a fucking job and I have bills to pay. So not every single customer right off the start can be, an award-winning customer, and I can't pick and choose that. So to be practical about this dream, but backed by action, go for those dream jobs.
Yeah,
okay. So again, over the past 25 years, I would like to say the first 24 years have been like hell shit customers, and the last 1 year has been amazing customers. Okay, maybe more like 15 and 10, 15 years, 10 years. But the reality is it took that long.
It took a long time
to get to the point where it's like, now we've got our $1 billion customers. And that's what we always wanted, was a $1 billion brand. And then we didn't have one. We ended up having 5 or 6 back to back to back, right? So again, practical dreamer. We took the shit up front.
Yep.
We worked through that shit, even though it was still a dream. We still did it all.
Yep.
And then again, backed by action. So we got there.
Yes.
Okay. So we got there. We climbed through. We did everything we had to do.
Yep.
And then we got the dream customers we had.
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's great.
Okay, I think that works.
That's good. I like it.
Okay, ready? Life itself is your teacher, and you are in a state of constant learning.
Now that I like.
Yeah, right?
That is good because what do we talk about all the time?
On a regular basis.
You're always learning here. Doing this
Being
stuff.
a designer is a journey of learning.
It
all right?
is.
It's all a journey of learning.
It is, and design is life. So you're always learning through this.
Absolutely, right? And I
God.
think that one's perfect,
Yes.
right? So
Oh,
again,
that's great.
just embrace it, expect it.
Yeah.
Right? How about this one? Success is a journey, not a destination. Have faith in your abilities and you'll do just fine.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Right? And again, I have oftentimes had many people reach out on Instagram, private messages saying, hey, you know what? I'm just starting in this. I'm just going to school. I'm just new with this, thanks. Or they have a question. I'm like, you know what? You just started an amazing journey, right? Enjoy every step. It's not going to be good.
Yep.
It's not going to be great.
Yeah.
But again, this is what success is.
Yeah.
Right? Success is going through the good, going through the bad, and kind
Yep.
of making a life out of it. So that's why this is such a beautiful thing. Have faith in your abilities.
Yeah.
Know what you're good at as a designer.
Yeah.
Be confident and keep getting better and better every day with every new step in your journey.
Yep.
And you'll do just fine.
Yeah, this is when I was kicked out of this business
Yep.
and slugging groceries around, I still stayed true to I knew I could do this shit. And then you reached down and grabbed me and pulled me out of the muck, and here I am. You know what I mean? Like this is kind of one of those scenarios where it's just like, yes, be true to yourself. Always believe in what you can
Always.
do.
Yep.
I always knew I could do this. I just needed the opportunity, right? And that's
glad
the
to
kind of
have you,
thing.
buddy.
Yeah, geez.
I'm glad to have you.
so-
Cheers to that one, brother.
Thank you.
You make every day better here.
Yay.
All right. We only got like one or two more. Ready?
Okay, these are great.
Okay. Second last one.
Okay.
What you habitually think largely determines what you will ultimately become.
Ooh.
So, if anybody ever has imposter syndrome,
Oh.
okay, just remember, if you keep thinking you're not good enough, you won't be good enough. And that's what this is, What you habitually think is what you become. Okay? So again, it's okay to kind of have imposter syndrome. The thing is, you've got to get over this shit.
That's exactly it.
And get what you're worth. Okay?
Right.
You've got to get out there, get paid for what you're worth, get the work that you're worth, and become who you are. I mean, again, I still struggle with imposter syndrome sometimes. I still, I think everybody does to one state or another.
Totally.
Right? But if it encapsulates every single minute of your day and you're constantly thinking, I'm not good enough, you won't ever be good enough.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And let's face it takes a whole bunch of different parts, of your life to finally start feeling like you're good enough. You got to do your research. You got to do your education. You've got to, and again, I do know a ton about branding. I do know a ton about graphic design. I do know a ton about marketing and web and blah, 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 blah. If I hear somebody else speak about branding, I'm like, wow, they're really good.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I suck.
No.
You're right. It just means, hey, there's somebody else who's really good.
Exactly. And
Hey,
that's, yeah.
Bruce Lee fought Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris almost kicked Bruce Lee's ass.
Oh.
Okay, just saying. Okay. In the end, Bruce Lee won, but hey. The reality is there's always going to be good people out there. It doesn't mean you suck.
Yeah.
Right? It
Yeah.
really doesn't. And that's what people need to understand. Like when it comes to imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
just because somebody else knows their shit or 2 or 3 or 10 of the people, it doesn't mean you don't.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
So,
that's,
yeah.
And that's kind of a scenario where you focus on a win. If you do happen to get a win out of the deal, then you're obviously doing something right.
Absolutely.
The client is happy. If anytime I get something I do that's I'm not 100% sure about, I get an attaboy or an attagirl or whatever.
Yeah,
If you do that, you
attaboy.
get that. Yeah, if you get an attaboy, you're like, okay, that was the right way, the right course to take, right?
Absolutely.
I'm maybe I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Maybe I might know a thing or two,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So these are the kind of things that you need to kind of focus on. It's tough. It's
Yeah.
tough. You can feel like an imposter because every day is a shift. Every day something
Yep.
new
So
happens.
true, so true.
Like these are the kind of things where you're just like, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
I know how to do this, and I'm going to focus on it and study up on it. This is also a good thing, right?
Cool.
How many times have you done that? Gone away on a weekend. A client says to you, "Hey, do you know how to do X?" And you're like, "Yeah, I
Yeah,
do."
of course.
And then you go home on the weekend and learn it.
the whole weekend. Dude, this just happened a couple weeks ago, to be honest.
This is what I'm saying.
And
Did you feel like an
happens.
imposter when that happened?
Well, no, I was like, I said, because again, it was on to me to learn how to do it.
That's it. It was the challenge, right?
Absolutely,
That's
it was.
Exactly
and that's
it.
actually, you know what the funny thing is? It happened, but it happened on something. I was completely honest about it. I was like, you know what?
Oh.
No, a customer was like, hey, we want some HTML5 ads. Can you do it? I'm like, well, you know what? To be honest, I've never really done it. We have all the parts in place.
Yeah.
We've got the coders, we've got the designers, we've got this, that, and we obviously know how to do, After Effects ads and
Yep.
this and that. But
Yep.
let me research HTML5. Let me figure out what the deal is, if it's better or not.
Yep.
And let me get back to you. So, I took about a week.
Yeah.
And then I got back and I was like, okay, it looks like in theory, Google might prefer them to, video ads. So let's try. We had all the pieces in place.
Yep.
We had, the skill set. We managed to find something that worked internally. We did it. Boom. Done. Delivered it. And now
And it
it's
worked.
like, now we'll be doing HTML5 ads for them, right? Because again, but I was completely honest in this.
Yeah,
In
and
this
that's-
case, there's no imposter there at all, right?
And-
It's a matter of saying, we've got everything else. Let's just figure out how to do it.
Yes. That's the final quote there, right? It's like, I'll tell you I'm good. You will say I'm boasting. I tell you I'm not good. You'll know I'm lying.
You'll know
right?
I'm lying, right? In that
It's
case,
like,
right?
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, and that's what
I'm
that
good,
one was.
but I don't know whether this is. I'm not 100% on this. But
Yeah, that's so funny. But the last quote on this that we're going to be talking today, and this one is my favorite. 3 words. 3 fucking words. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
If there's ever 3 words that epitomizes designers, this is it. Ready? Don't think. Feel.
Ooh.
Again, our whole industry is built on empathy.
Yes.
It's all
Yeah.
built on getting that initial reaction out of somebody, on jumping in.
Yeah.
Even UX is all about getting the right flow and feel and capturing that screw the UX fucking conversation. I'm not going to defend those guys,
Say,
right?
What the hell?
No,
What,
no.
have I gone into the opposite world here?
Guys
He's
are-
talking about
It's
UX.
pissing me off lately. I hope AI comes after you. No, but
It's okay not to know UXers are listening anyway. So,
But no, the don't think, feel though. But it is so important. And I mean, we tell our customers this: don't overanalyze. Focus in on how you feel, on how something makes you feel.
Right.
Is the
Logos.
messaging correct? Is the low? Are you looking at it? Is it giving you that right message? Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Don't fucking think.
Yeah.
Feel. Right?
Yeah.
And that is so important because it's so fucking easy to overanalyze every single thing that we do, everything we design, everything we create, and then customers will do it.
Yep.
So again, we need to stop doing it, and we need to tell our customers to stop doing it. We need to tell them to don't think, feel.
Yes.
Focus on that first, then we'll talk about the rest of the bullshit that you want to talk about.
yes, exactly. See, when you presented these quotes to me, that's what made me think this was Yoda.
Oh, really?
Don't think, feel.
Fair. But that would be more like,
That's great.
think not, but feel. Right?
True. Yes.
Right.
These are awesome,
So
man. Holy
I thought this
shit.
was fun. You
Yes.
know what I mean? Again, design like water.
Yes.
Graphic design lessons from Bruce Lee. I hope everybody liked this. This is totally fun.
Yes.
We just came off of an awesome one with,
Yep.
a couple, great guy.
He was the Bruce Lee of design.
Holy shit,
Alan
right?
Peters, yeah.
Exactly. So, that's why this is just a nice way to kind of get back into this, right?
Yeah.
So, let us know what you think. Of course, I'm sure, correct me, kick my ass. I will Jeet Kune Do your responses and come back with something a little better.
Do your Bruce Lee again. I love that. That's so good.
And it's just like, and you know what? Even he couldn't pull that off because it sounded ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's Bruce Lee.
But it's Bruce Lee.
And everybody's like, oh, that's
Yeah.
Bruce. And
Yeah.
we talk about self-expression. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, he,
Yeah.
he sounded like a cat out there. And it was hilarious. And, whether it was just showmanship
Yeah.
or movies or whatever, fuck, that dude had left an impression on that space. and the whole world.
This is the thing. If it wasn't for Bruce Lee, there'd be no Jackie Chan. There'd be nothing like that, right?
Because
this is the kind of thing. If there were no, and again, to apply to our business, if there was no Paul Rand, there'd be no Alan Peters. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the kind of stuff where,
you're right.
This is what the legacy of these people and how they
what they bring
us.
to it all, right? How they affect all parts.
Yes.
Not just more. I bet you he didn't think that fucking 50 years after his death, there'd be two fucking guys drinking whiskey, talking about graphic design and Bruce Lee's martial arts philosophies, right?
I know.
But how far the reach goes in what people create, right?
Yeah.
And he was very philosophical.
He
and
was.
His stuff is brilliant. So I highly encourage. It was such a great rabbit hole to go down and refresh my mind about, reminded me about. And this weekend, I'm going to show Rocco Enter the Dragon, right?
Dude.
We're going to watch it. Oh yeah, and we're going to go right back into this. I mean, I need to relive my Bruce Lee days.
That's
awesome.
do. He was such a badass.
He was a pretty badass. Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
That's great. This is really good, man.
That's fun.
So this is the kind of stuff I'm going to start wearing all black to work.
Okay.
I'm going to sit quietly like a cat ready to pounce.
Yeah. Should wear your Kato hat and glasses.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll jump out at you at any inopportune time.
Except you'll sound more like a bear, not like a little furry cat.
Like a zombie or something. Yeah.
All right. With that being said, everybody, please, I hope you enjoyed this. Give us your feedback. Let us know what you like, what you didn't like on this. Let us know, if you want to hear more of these funny mashups. Heck, I'm all for trying to find these kind of, correlations with our space, because I think there's so much. It just brings so much, I don't even know, holistic.
I don't know. It's hard to say. But there is the parallels that are involved in different disciplines, I think. Right.
I think that's great.
Which is kind of cool. This I did not realize. I was just kind of like blown away by just how similar
so much
martial arts and fucking graphic design is.
I know, right?
What?
Maybe the next one will be like baking pies and graphic design. Baking pies.
No. I'm thinking like Top Gun. What about pilots?
Oh,
it's got to be the same fucking discipline, right?
Jeez. That one scares me only because, I'd have Tom Cruise break down our front door, come in here, drag us off to some sort of weird thing. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we won't worry about that one.
Coming to you, the angry designers from Scientology.
Mission Impossible 10, making Sean and Massimo agents. Having them lose weight and scale buildings.
Actually, that'd be pretty good.
That'd be pretty funny. All right, by all means, please leave us messages. Hit us up, leave us reviews, share us with everybody. Again, if we don't have the swag out on our site by this episode, we will shortly. Some of you reached out, and again, it's just very first round stuff, and we'll get them out, get some feedback, and then we'll start doing bigger runs. So we hope everybody likes it. I mean, I want some bigger plans for us, but right now I'm having a great time hearing people and how we actually help their lives. So that's what makes this all worthwhile.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So fucking worthwhile.
Totally.
All right. With that being said,
I love that shirt.
Kind of a fun shirt, right?
How did I miss that? How did I fucking miss this?
I was dropping in
hints all day.
What's our topic today, Sean?
Jesus.
Okay.
You're good.
My name's Massimo.
And my name's Sean.
Stay creative.
And stay angry.
Wow, peace.